monstrous damage and fire rate, unspoken reliability, and supplies on the go. Quartermaster Creature here. You ain't a new Mombasa anymore, rookie, so why don't we familiarize ourselves with the standard issue Helldiver gear, being the MG43 machine gun, AR-23 Liberator, and B1 supply pack. Let's dive feet first into it, shall we? Now, you may be thinking these pieces of wonderful Super Earth craftsmanship are meant to be used by cadets and shelved when better options are available. And to that I say, how dare you! I am not joking when I say every piece of starting equipment a Helldiver drops with is a more than capable bug, bot, and squid crusher. Let's start with the MG43, shall we? This beast of a support weapon is a mainstay in my automaton and illuminate loadouts, boasting a more than generous 90 damage per shot, 175 round capacity with 1 box mag loaded and 2 in reserve, medium armor penetration and a variable fire rate. An absolute delight to work with, as ever, my dearest MG43. As a support weapon, it will need to be called in from your destroyer once you make planetfall, and by default has an 8-minute cooldown, so don't lose it, diver. Now, I have seen a lot of debate around light and medium armor penetration, though for rookies and those that love to spray and pray, myself included, the latter, medium armor penetration, is absolutely beneficial. To those new to the Galactic War, in order to damage an enemy, the armor penetration of a weapon must match their armor strength for 65% of full damage, or surpass it for glorious maximum damage. This will show in your hit markers. Red means your weapon penetrates enemy armor and is doing full damage. White indicates you match the enemy armor for 65% damage as mentioned prior, and you'll get a ricochet symbol should your firepower be insufficient to damage such a foe. Now, as said prior, the MG43 features medium armor penetration, making it an excellent choice for handling medium units, such as hive guards and bile spears on the bug front by ripping into their medium armored faces. Scout Striders, Devastators, and gunships on the bot front can be handled with well-placed shots to the head or waist, with the latter being downed swiftly by shooting at their engines. Against the Illuminate, Harvesters can be beaten by pounding their hip joints with a flurry of 8mm, and Stingrays and Flesh Mobs can be shot just about anywhere. Just be careful of the former shooting back. These enemies should be the MG43's bread and butter no matter the front. If it's bigger than your standard foe but smaller than a heavy, why not let it taste the glorious firepower the 8mm provides, Helldiver? And while not able to directly handle some of the tougher foes such as Bile Titans or Leviathans, do not doubt the destructive power of medium penetration, diver, as heavier enemies such as tanks, factory striders and hulks all feature wonderful and handy little weak points, like the exposed rear vents shared by hulks and tanks, or the medium armored underbellies of factory striders. All you need is a bit of careful positioning and these blighted bots will meet their fiery end. Oh, and did I mention the variable fire rate of the MG43? This lead-slinging machine by default has a 760 round per minute fire rate, though this can be lowered to 630 or increased to 900 rounds per minute by holding your reload key to access the weapon menu. This applies to all weapons, diver, not just the MG43, so give them a try. Now, as for what I expect of you Helldivers, you should practice your aim in the default 760 and primarily use that for range until your confidence has built up enough to make full use of the beautiful 900 RPM without whiffing half your shots. If I catch anyone using the pitiful 630 RPM for more than a few bursts of extreme long-range combat, you get back on the shuttle you came in on and heading straight to New Alexandria. Am I understood?
Helldiver.
What? If you say anything again about 4.5% of people being subscribed or whatever the hell that means, I'm leaving. I'm getting in that pod and I'm going, okay? Nah, bye. Now, it wouldn't be fair to mention this wonderful, beautiful lead shredder's strengths without also mentioning its weaknesses. While it does have very few shortcomings, the handling and reload can potentially cause issue for any diver ill-prepared for them. While moderately controllable, the MG43 certainly handles worse than the first weapon a diver will likely wield, the AR-23 Liberator, which we'll be covering shortly. Stationary, while prone or crouching, is my suggestion to best wield this beast. Though once used to it, the MG43's drag and kick can be managed easily. As for the reload, by default it takes 4.6 seconds, which in the heat of battle can be an eternity, and also must be done while stationary. However, the reload is broken into stages, and each stage can be interrupted to save reload progress. Removing the ammo box, slotting in a new one, and chambering a new round are said stages. Watch for them, and learn how to best time your reloads, Helldiver. And on a personal note regarding the MG43, as mentioned prior, it's one of my favourites to flay some calamari with. Able to handle just about every single major threat the Illuminate can field. Exciting stuff for a leadhead like me. Hope you appreciate it as I do, Helldiver. Treat the MG43 well and you will never be disappointed. Now, onto the standard issue beauty, the AR-23 Liberator. If it's good enough for the SEAF, it's good enough for us Helldivers. Featuring a solid 80 damage per shot, it's 640 rounds per minute, 45 shots per magazine, with 1 loaded and 7 spares. This is a solid pick against pretty much every lightly armoured foe. Reliability is the name of this horse's game, even on your higher level deployments. It does nothing fancy compared to its more specialised Liberator variants, but sets an absolute paradigm of damage balanced with fire rate and handling. Compared to the MG43, the luscious Liberator fires a 5.5mm round, capable of penetrating only light armour and below. Though, don't let this scare you, Helldiver. As near enough every enemy that resists the will of liberty by way of 5.5mm can be beaten using precision or a weak point with the AR-23. Against lightly armoured foes such as scavengers, warriors, shriekers, troopers and voteless, the Liberator makes laughably short work of all of them. The 80 damage per shot and moderate fire rate, allowing for quick takedowns on individual enemies, while the generous 45 round magazine capacity gives ample flexibility for dealing with numbers. Though, what really separates the blind firing of the standard issue bullet slinger from those who really know how to use it is the situations that require a bit more precision. Against the Terminids, for example, Hive Guards can give an ill-prepared diver wielding a Liberator some trouble, though simply shooting at their front light-armoured claws or rear will beat them swiftly enough. As for the automatons, the enemies I can see giving our gorgeous gun grief are Devastators and Striders. Against the former, the majority of their armour is medium, meaning the light armour penetrating capability of the Liberator will be unable to pierce them there. However, their nasty, thoughtless little heads are completely unarmoured, meaning a few well-placed shots from a Liberator will drop them swiftly, though their stomachs feature the same weakness while being slightly easier to hit. Striders feature majority heavy armour, with the exception of their waist and legs, the latter being light armour. Here, or their pilot, are very suitable targets for the Liberator, and reinforced ones, just shoot their rockets and enjoy the boom. Easy peasy. And for the Illuminate, so long as you avoid shooting anything larger than an Overseer, the Liberator will serve you well against the Voltless, Flesh Mobs, and all variants of Overseers. As for the weaknesses of the Liberator, I'd say the unspecificity of it is its biggest flaw. Its strength comes from being a jack of all trades, though this inversely makes it a master of none. There are many more highly specialized weapons that will outclass it in a number of scenarios, though that more so comes down to preference, and again, specialized scenarios. The AR-23 is a more than competent weapon in the hands of any diver. Treat it with the respect and reverence it deserves. I know I do. While the B1 supply pack isn't technically available to new divers upon their first deployment, it is available at the rank of cadet, meaning with enough requisition slips, anyone with the strength and courage to be a hell diver can wield this mighty backpack. Similarly to the Liberator I just covered, the supply pack is simplicity at its finest. It does one thing and one thing alone. Keeps you and your teammates topped up with supplies when you need them most. Not everything has to be fancy like a warp pack or scorcher, Helldiver. The utility and team play provided by this cannot be understated, and most divers I see winning it tend to be either cadets or 10-star generals, with little in between. Now, enough glazing, let's talk details, shall we? Carrying 4 supply bricks, the B1 supply pack is essentially a back-mounted mobile resupply cache, like the ones called down from a super destroyer, that can also be resupplied itself by said caches. This allows a diver to supply themselves or teammates with ammo, stims and grenades by simply interacting with them. Oh, and a little side note for any of our shiny new rookies. A Helldiver can equip a primary, secondary, grenade, support weapon and backpack all at once, meaning you can wield both the MG43 machine gun and B1 supply pack simultaneously. Quite a potent combo, says the Quartermaster. As for supplying oneself, it's as easy as pressing your 5 key on keyboard or down on the D-pad. Whatever those mean. As well as this, a Helldiver's HUD will provide useful information, allowing them to see what their teammate needs, indicated in red beside their name in the bottom left. As mentioned prior, it's possible to replenish the supply pack using destroyer-deployed supply caches, though don't be too eager to assist teammates by hoovering up everything inside, as to not appear greedy. All under Super Earth's flag are equal, though Helldivers are the most equal. Please remember this, diver. Weaknesses-wise for the B1 supply pack? I suppose it does one thing? It does it well though, extremely well. In fact, I'd say it's likely the most consistently well-performing backpack Super Earth has. It allows many low ammo capacity weapons to really shine and give an air of flexibility and team support to just about any build. I came in here expecting to glaze the MG43, not the supply pack. But thinking about it, I think it is probably the strongest piece of equipment I've covered today. Damn. Good going, B1. Proud of you. And to wrap up, if there's anything you newer divers take away from today's lesson, I hope it's that every piece of equipment in Super Earth's arsenal, from the mighty super destroyers hovering on high above your deployments, to the simple B1 supply pack, has their place on the battlefield. Simplicity itself is a hammer, and reliability in just getting the job done without any bells or whistles is the nail with which the hammer of justice shall bifurcate our foes. Do not underestimate the power of simplicity, my friends. With that, I think we'll wrap up today's lesson. I do hope to see you shinies again, along with my regulars, as a Quartermaster's job is never truly done. This is Quartermaster Creature, signing off. Yo, thank you for making it again to the end of another video. This was a really fun one. I've always loved the MG43, you can probably tell because I recommend it in like literally every weapon video I make. The base Liberator is really good as well, and the supply pack, oh, what a unit. What a unit, man. Also, come watch me on Twitch, and I will see you guys soon. So, thank you for coming by. See you around. Ta-ta.